Welcome to Rebel Watch, an all Star Wars podcast.
Hey, what are you trying to push on us?
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly.
All right, dude. Title of episode 9. Okay.
This will be a good one.
Back to Tatooine. Right? Or Twin Suns setting.
Twins, yeah.
The return of the
Return of the Twin Suns.
I'm working on it.
Sounds like a porno.
Well,
You know?
I mean, well,
It could be.
let's copyright that first
Star
of all.
Wars Episode 9.
Oh, man.
That's funny.
So there is a rumor out there
Yes.
that we may be returning to where it all started. You know?
Tatooine.
Right? Be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Why, though? You know, why?
I think the question is why not?
Yeah. But what's there? You know, are we going to... I don't know.
I don't know, Mike. The Force conceives people there, okay?
It just doesn't make sense to me. Unless she actually was conceived there or something, or there's something about Vader we didn't know, but why would Vader return to Tatooine?
Hold on.
To Tatooine?
Hold on.
Who knows?
Look, okay. Welcome
Yep.
to Rebel Watch.
Well-
Here's where, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
So
come on.
I dug deep for this,
Let's
okay?
get comfortable. This is going to be it.
This is going to be a thing. Episode 9. So I found this. I was just doing, you know, when it goes kind of cold on news, you got to really,
I mean, it's Hoth here.
yeah.
I mean, there is
It's-
nothing going on.
We're on the other side, man. We're on the
Yeah.
dark side of Hoth. all
Yeah.
right? So, like, there is nothing going on.
That's awesome.
So I was looking and I did some digging and I found it looks like someone maybe for Christmas or something. Their girlfriend's brother worked on the first unit of episode 9
Yeah.
and gifted them this little, bag. It says 9 on it in the Star Wars font, and it's got 2 vials of what look like sand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was hilarious because it's got, some a nice little note in here, something that maybe came from one of the sets, possibly, from some of the planets that we might be on in episode 9. I just thought it was hilarious, and I thought when you're digging deep, this is where we come to.
Yeah.
All right, the bottom of the barrel.
This is the bottom of the barrel.
And
Yes.
you just find sand there,
It's just sand.
and then we start thinking we're going back to Tatooine, and
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
It gets everywhere. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
But would you really be opposed to us going back there?
I just don't know what the purpose would
You don't know why we would go?
I mean, we've been there a couple of times already. To tie in the trilogies, I get it.
Well, hey, but what if we
Yeah.
went there though, and it wasn't like we were going there to see, Luke's homestead, and it was just like incidentally we're flying. It's kind of like the Millennium Falcon is the junk. They say it as an offshoot, kind of like, oh, we're in a pickle. What's the closest planet? And then it's like Tatooine.
It's called Tatooine.
And you got to stop in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they went there in the prequels. They went there in the originals twice. They haven't gone there once in the sequels.
Is it the new base for the Resistance or the Rebels now? They're calling themselves.
I mean, who knows?
Could it be? Yeah.
I mean, there could be
The
some.
Hutts are maybe hanging out with them now. They're part of their alliance.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be wicked.
That'd be a little weird, but
It would. It would make more sense to go back to Jakku.
okay. I'm fine. I'm just saying. There's
But-
also 2 vials of sand here.
That's true.
One of them, they look like they're.
Is this Star Wars News Net?
No, this is like /film.com.
Okay, because Star Wars News Net has an article about
They do?
About the here.
A familiar planet.
So they're reporting this as well.
Okay, so maybe it's not bottom of the barrel like I thought.
It's recently come to our attention that there's a bit of unverified information tossed in with what's real. While the bags, jackets, notes, and patches are all real, word is that the 2 jars are not.
Mike, why are you
I'm
sitting here?
I'm just throwing this out there.
I don't believe those
Reddit-
guys for a second.
Reddit user throw another 9. What I don't know what that means. Recently, privately proved his credentials to the staff at Star Wars Leaks and set the record straight. And he says the bottles are not from production. So the brother.
Well, of course, he's not allowed to say that they're from production.
Yeah.
Well,
So let's hear him out. So the brother came up with those 2 jars, and it sounds like they're not part of the production, so we can cross them off the list for now. But everything else in the picture is the real deal. He He clarified that the title of Star Wars Episode 9 is not out in the wild as part of these gifts, as the production code name, Trixie, is the only thing that appears on the merch. Interesting. This seems pretty believable, considering that Lucasfilm likes to make a big deal of announcing Star Wars titles. Yes. He also discussed multiple impressions from the set of the film, which is apparently the first time he's ever been on a Star Wars set. He refused to spoil anything, given that the jobs would be on the line if he did. But he was willing to share that 2 coworkers that are longtime fans of the franchise and Legends material, one of whom enjoyed The Last Jedi and one who decidedly did not, were both immensely satisfied with the footage that was coming together. As in tears of joy satisfied. That's some high praise. He also noted that this praise didn't mean that fans would like absolutely everything in the film, but it certainly seems like Lucasfilm is happy with the film. So, okay, let's say it is real. Let's say that sand came.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. When you look at the photo, okay, and you go look at the handwriting.
I don't know where the photo is.
From the note and the labels that are on the jars, handwriting looks the same.
Does it have the little sticky note that says J.J. Abrams on it? Because that's what some of this other merch shows.
What are you talking? Yeah, well, it's just got the. I'm just looking at the note. Looks like it's sitting on top of a couple T-shirts. With a bag. See, I was kind of just messing. I thought this was just totally like not even.
No.
You know, but if this is really where we're at, then I'm okay talking about it. I mean,
yeah.
It says from a long time ago, not so far away, and it's this bottle, and it looks like it's got sand in it, and it looks like the other one has like beans. Yeah, swallow you up whole! Exclamation mark. It could have just been something funny from the set to this person individually. Handwriting is literally the same.
Yeah.
As the note that from JJ with his little tag on the top.
I mean,
so all I'm saying is like maybe it's just dirt from a planet that they were at, and it's just sort of like to remember where we were at kind of thing. It doesn't have to be Tatooine or whatever. Or it's Jakku. Who knows?
Or Tatooine.
I mean, I was totally messing when we started, but
let's say that they did.
Okay.
Why? What's the purpose? Is it just making a pit stop, or is it?
Yeah, it could be.
You think it could be something more there?
There could be something more there.
Is it strong with the dark side? Is Palpatine there again?
Could just be more clues, you know?
Okay.
Could be, back to Obi-Wan's little hut there.
That'd be sick.
Tie in with the journal.
What happened to that, by the way, when he passed?
I don't know.
You know?
I think there's some stuff in the comics, but somebody gets a hold of his journal, you know?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
That's kind of cool. I don't know. Who has Luke's speeder? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how old is that thing? What if you saw it kind of like
they
dinged up out there? It's one of those things like Jakku, like you're driving by, there's the speeder in the background.
It's like when I see my 94 Grand Dam on the road, sometimes I'm like, ugh.
There it is.
There it is, the glory days.
So
yeah, interesting.
I don't know, man. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Do you want to go back there? Maybe we should put a poll up. You know, do you want to go back or not? So I feel like it's interesting that in the prequels we went there several times.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we went there 3 times in each movie.
Well, it is interesting. So what was the point? I mean, Anakin could have come from anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
So why bring it back? I mean, just because it's familiar, because it ties it in with the original trilogy.
That's why I think if you just did a stop off, like it's an unexpected sort of like, you stopped in there for whatever reason. Maybe you are meeting a bit of the resistance there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Outer Rim. That's what they talked about these where these signals, could be and things. I don't know. Best place to hide from the First Order would be underneath the huts.
I think it would be the huts.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. That's just a quick little. We don't have to spend a lot of time on that. I just thought Tatooine. Why do you go there? The nostalgia. You've been there in the originals. You've been there in the prequels. When I saw the sand, was like, I'm convinced. I'm sold. They're either going to Jakku or Tatooine.
It's coarse.
Yeah.
And it gets everywhere.
Unless you put it in a jar like this.
That's true. Keep it nice and contained.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, and you save it. I mean, I would do that, though, if I were on a set and, like, we were somewhere and I wanted to kind of remember something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
Like, this is from another planet. Okay?
I mean, I've done it. Yeah, I totally get that, but theorizing that it's... I mean, there's a couple of sand planets, so how are we saying it's Tatooine?
Hey, Mike,
did someone study the sand?
Mike, what is wrong with saying? I'm just asking the question.
You're playing devil's advocate there, right?
I just kind of want to know. I think I think there's a way in which you could do it. It would be a nice little nod. Yeah. You could go there to get a pilot. That's what you seem to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you need a pilot to get you out of stuff, they're in a pickle.
Yeah.
You know, and we need a ship to get us out of here. Ba-boom.
I last time we saw it as, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. I just,
Yeah.
I don't need to go back there. You know,
Right. I know.
It was just a little much.
It was a lot.
It was a little much.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they didn't edit out some of that with the Blu-ray
Special.
releases and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that, you know, because they've changed. If you look at them side by side, just like blaster bolts, and then they really dumbed things down. The explosions on some of the troopers weren't as
Yeah.
violent, so I'm surprised that they showed their charred bodies just like that and didn't, switch it up a little bit. But I don't know.
What's the bad lip reading song? Charred bodies hitting the floor. I mean, that's terrible. Terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Why did I bring that up?
That's one of the
Because
best.
I'm a horrible person. I'm sorry.
It's one of the best Star Wars things ever, though.
Go watch Bushes of Love. It's hilarious.
49 times, man.
Yeah. So, anyways, you let us know what you think on that. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with showing us a bunch of new planets, but then taking us back somewhere that we kind of remember. People have talked about Naboo, you know?
They have. That one seems like it could be, like, from the sets that we've seen leaked,
Yeah.
that could be a legitimate thing.
A place where you would go. You know, okay, so in The Last Jedi, they visit, Crate, which is this abandoned, rebel base, right?
Yeah.
That we never even knew about that existed.
Only in the Leia book.
Yeah.
That's it.
So maybe, is there a reason to go back to Geonosis? Is there a reason to go back to, Camino, some of these other places?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would there be a reason? I mean, here's the
Camino.
thing: if Nathan Agnew's theory is correct in that Rey is a clone or a
They're
hand
on
baby,
Camino.
they're on Camino. There's
Yeah.
something going on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Underwater facility, Maz swimming in,
Boba's back.
doing her thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Tong Wei. Bring them all back.
Could you imagine?
That would be crazy.
That'd be nuts. I don't think that's going to happen. But just
How weird it was, though, just hearing, like, Darth Sidious mentioned in The Last Jedi. Like, I love that they're making the connections, but then all of a sudden the prequels just started bleeding into my mind. I was like, it's weird. I can't even imagine revisiting Camino or revisiting Geonosis. Like, I don't know, man. It just baffles my mind. Tatooine is a little more believable.
Yeah, and also
But-
I'd have to say the way they shot those planets, it's
Yeah.
hard to bring that into the way they're shooting the sequels.
That's
so
true.
I think it'd look weird. I
It
think,
would look very weird.
or it'd look cooler, and we'd be like, wow, now the other stuff looks tacky. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm just all for letting the past die.
hey, me too.
So
But okay, we're talking about planets though. I mean, let's go over all of them. I mean, Endor. I mean, the Force Moon of Endor. Are we going back there?
if you show me Kylo Ren going and getting Vader's mask, then yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
That would be sick. And
That
I would
would
love
be
to
cool.
see Ewoks again.
I would love to see.
I would
Ewoks.
cry.
I would cry my eyes out if I did. I would literally lose my ever living mind, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Jedi use it as a sanctuary from time to time, so it could be a place. And this
Yeah.
is in Legends, but where we could retreat there and if you're hunting down some answers, maybe you go there.
Yeah.
Again, another one of those places where if you just end up there, I get people
Yeah.
want to expand the universe and go to different planets, and I'm all
Yeah.
for that. I think
Yeah.
you could do that in this movie and still visit one place.
Yeah, no,
you
absolutely.
can't go to all the different.
You can't. But maybe Ben goes there after he learns, about whatever it is that his parents have going on. And he just, goes to seek some therapy
Yeah,
with an Ewok.
look what they did in Revenge of the Sith, though, in
Yeah.
Episode 3, and how many planets they threw at us all at once with the various Jedi, generals and commanders in the
True.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was interesting because all you did was show us, boom, one clip, and each planet looked different, and you're like,
Yeah.
what are all these places?
Yeah.
And then the Star Wars literature went nuts with it for years,
Yeah.
which was fantastic
Yeah.
for a guy like me. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, they could maybe, if you're gathering, you have people just communicating on different planets, the resistance is all kind of getting organized. You could show different settings like that. I don't know, it'd be, make sure it's shot the right way and everything. But I don't know, it'd be kind of cool.
What about the new trilogy? Do you think there's any use in going back to Octu? Or are we done? Or is that bringing up
Oh.
too much The Last Jedi for people? And they're like, I don't know. Do we need to?
It wouldn't surprise me though if they just stopped in there for one more, like a pickup or something.
She goes and grabs a saber really quick.
Yeah, because they wouldn't even need to film it in the same spot because they also did some filming over in Iceland too. Or not? Was it Iceland or was it?
Well, I don't know. You sound like an inside source. I have no idea.
Yeah, they did. They were on Skellig doing some shot. It cost a lot of money to go there, and they built that big Force tree, I think they had to build that, and they couldn't do it there on the island, so they did it. Where'd they do that?
Pinewood Studios.
Is that Pinewood? Okay. They were somewhere else too, I feel like. Or maybe they were just contemplating going there.
Yeah, I think that would have been way too extensive for the island. But they did do those sea cows on the side of the cliff. That was cool.
Oh, you're right. They did fly that in there, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so would they go back there? What would they need to go back for? They took Rey took the text.
Yeah.
Possibly for, I don't know, lightsaber guidance or whatever. If she went back there, maybe just seeking the mystery, maybe she doesn't understand what happened to Luke, and she's not sure whether he became one with the Force and he appears to her there. That would be kind of like a Dagobah situation where Luke goes back in 6
That'd be cool.
and seeks out Yoda to complete his training.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
We really need to revisit 6 because they're going to pull something from 6. We need to go back and see what it is that we think we could tie in and do just a bold prediction before.
Well, the thing is, no one's missing. I'm just thinking, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, the whole reason to go to Tatooine is because someone's taken by Jabba the Hutt.
True.
Which was so cool, right?
True,
that was a
true.
way to take
Yeah.
us back there, and it was like, dang.
That's true. That's
so,
true.
As you think about that, I don't know if that's gonna. All of our everyone's together on the Falcon, so we're gonna need something in the script, that tells us where everybody's at, either why they're separated or because here, right, the rumor is we're picking up a year after the Last Jedi. So,
well, here's something interesting. Here's what could bring us back.
Okay.
Got our friend, I think it's Carissa. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Commented on our Who Left Rey on Jakku video part 2 on Facebook. And I thought this was great because so many people, when talking about Rey's origins, it's either she's somebody, she's a Skywalker, or she's a nobody. But Carissa here picks up on what if Rey was created by the Force, just like Anakin. And it's not something that we think about too much. And we don't really talk about it much. But they say, I think it would be cool if Rey is another Force created being like Anakin was. It would explain how she's so naturally gifted. She would still have to have a mother, but maybe the mother isn't important. Anakin's mom was a slave, a nobody. Maybe Rey really was sold off, but not by her mother, by their slave owner. So all she sees is herself in the cave because of her being a creation of the Force, which I really like that. Awakened because of the new growing threat in the galaxy. I know it's kind of a stretch, but most theories are. I don't think that's a stretch at all. But what if she maybe hears the story of Anakin Skywalker and seeks out that mystery, and it could take her back to Tatooine, and who knows?
Right, a couple episodes, we kind of when people bring up cloning, we kind of like brush it off, but it's like it was so done, it was overdone in the prequels and then the literature, and actually even it's been done time and time again. It's actually been since episode 4, it's referenced.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So that's been out there for a long time. And then this whole situation with, in the prequels, that was kind of the shocker, right?
Yeah.
There was no father.
Yeah.
That'd shock you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It could very well be.
So
I thought that was cool, and that maybe that's a tie-in.
You can't easily dismiss that. That could be something that goes into the deeper nature of the Force, or the Force trying to balance itself, prophecy, etc. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So we actually have a couple different comments on our Facebook group, I think, that we kind of wanted to go over. We have a nice little voicemail to finish off with, too.
Oh, my gosh.
That I think will take us into a pretty big topic. So let's start with the Facebook group. And since Mike brought up some of the comments there on YouTube, and talk about what we have going on here. I think I had this in a doc. Let me see. Last time. Oh, this is when we were talking about some of our 3 must-haves.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of different comments about that. One of those I thought was interesting. I'm not going to read all of it here, but it came from, looks like Dustin Williams.
Yep.
Okay, so he's talking about 3 must-haves here. Obviously, Rey's origin, who are her parents, who dropped her off on Jakku, and why. We've been trying to answer that for a while. We're about to do a part 3 on that. So
this feels like what it's becoming.
It's the most important question, and no one's asking.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 2, a massive battle. I would really like to see the students from Luke's Academy show up, the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And I really believe there are some surviving students that escaped Kylo. You know it, man. Dustin, here's the thing, man. You were onto it, because I have been saying, when I lay down at night, I dream about this kind of stuff.
Come on.
Okay?
Yep.
I dream that I am one of those students.
Amen.
Returning with my lightsaber. Try and stop me.
I
will help Rey.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. How many from Order 66, you know,
Quite a few.
were thought to be the Jedi were wiped out completely? How many escaped? And we have all these different offshoot, you know, stories and things.
Several.
Where Kanan is you know, survives, and we have the comic book series that show us
Jocasta knew.
Yeah, Jacosta's there, and several others.
Master Infillet.
Exactly, and he's off doing his Bayrash or Barash vow,
yeah.
you know. So who else was, you know, either had already been trained and we're not there. You had said it today. We were just watching The Last Jedi. I love that almost every episode we bring up a movie that we're just watching.
Yeah,
it's every
it's
single
all
day.
we do.
It's all we do.
It's all we do.
I walk in here and it's just playing. It's fantastic. I don't even have to ask Mike anymore. Boom, there it is. So we're looking at the temple, and we actually, you know, it's deceiving. I always thought they were, when I first saw The Last Jedi, I thought there were bodies laying out there.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Stone logs, whatever they are. I don't know what they are, but they look like bodies for a
They're
while.
somewhere.
And I was always like, what is that? Yeah.
They're somewhere.
Where are the bodies?
They're there somewhere.
Where are the charred bodies? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That place was on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
There should be a lot of them.
Here's the thing. If we're going to, you know, Baru and Owen went through.
Exactly.
You know?
Let's see it. Okay. Until I see it, no one died.
That's terrible. People are going to be like, you guys have
gotten really dark.
Really dark here. This is bringing, you know, some people are having traumatic experiences, and I apologize.
That's
That honestly,
That's right.
I'm sorry. But you know, one of those things with those students coming back, it's like, if all those people, if all those Jedi escaped Order 66, how do some of Luke's students not escape?
Yeah.
Or
agreed.
Maybe they're thought to be dead. You know, they were believed to be dead.
We'll just compare the circumstances. You have Anakin Skywalker, one of the greatest Jedi of all time.
Yeah.
One of the greatest Jedi of all time. And then all the clones swarming the temple.
Yeah.
And then you look at Luke's circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
He returns. We don't know. We don't hear mention of the First Order coming. You know, we just, at that point, it doesn't seem like Ben is that involved with the First Order yet. So some people had to have escaped.
Yeah.
Some people had to have escaped.
And also, man, I have to ask the question here too. So something doesn't add up. All right. How long is Master Skywalker out?
Yeah.
While Kylo Ren does that amount of damage to the temple?
Yeah.
Did he do that all on his own? I mean, did he go in there and turn, let's say, 6 of the, you know, he says he takes a dozen students. Did he turn a handful or half of those students? And then that's how, so those 7 kind of, you know, wiped out and destroyed, blew up? Maybe. Okay. Or was he already in communication with the First Order?
Could have been.
You know?
Called in Snoke, and could Snoke have been involved? Because Snoke's powerful.
I don't know. One of the things, too, is I feel like they would not have left Master Skywalker there unharmed. You know?
Oh, no.
So I do kind of, that's where I'm at, you know, up in the air on that.
I mean, he just showed up, right? Well, no.
Who?
Why am I thinking Luke just showed up? No, they had the whole interaction in his hut.
Yeah.
Got knocked out.
Right.
Which
so
kind of blows my mind.
Blows my mind, too. So that's what I'm saying. Some of these things are not, you know.
If Luke, I don't know. I'm sorry.
No.
He's taken by surprise, maybe, but like, if he's as powerful as everyone wants him to be, how is he getting taken out like that and then knocked out and then all of a sudden his temple's gone? I mean, I get it. It's failures. It's this and that. But like,
yeah, but
let's be realistic. Come on.
No.
You see him destroy that temple hut? Just everything went. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's no different than what fell on him. He could have just force stopped all of it.
I know. He could,
right?
I know.
That's weird, man.
And I mean, like, well, again, taking off. I get where he could maybe be knocked out for a second, but the more you read and you learn about the Force, it would warn Master Skywalker about some of the danger sense that he would get, and also like, you know, if Ben were approaching him to finish him off, he would have gotten warned, because he says that he believed that he was dead. You know, like Luke kind of believes that Ben Solo believed that he was dead. From that, you know, pulling down the structure on him.
Your uncle is the Grand Master.
Yeah, I mean
You didn't end him there.
Like Palpatine's lightning didn't end him.
I know.
Come on.
Here's the thing too. He's out.
Something else is up.
He's out to destroy Luke hardcore in the last 2 movies, right?
Right.
Why not just end him when he's knocked out there?
And I think there he's still struggling between the dark and the light, maybe, and he's just
But he destroys the temple.
and goes and kills all those people. I don't think so.
Something's up.
Something's up.
Something's up, man.
If we, like there's like that all just doesn't really.
It doesn't add up.
And I think the way that we start to buy it, and maybe JJ looked at this, is that like we're first told kind of like a half truth from Luke, then we're told a distorted truth from Kylo, and then we're told what is the truth, right? So we just accept that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that we need to accept it right there.
Why wouldn't Luke fib a little more?
And maybe he doesn't know everything that happened. So again, you're getting just
Yeah.
his perspective. So
Yeah.
what else happened? He believes that they were destroyed. Who knows? Maybe he said like, "I'm burning this place down." He destroys it. I've killed Master Skywalker, and they flee.
Yeah.
And they don't. And then he leaves, and he doesn't know where his students are.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't actually kill the other students.
He definitely didn't kill all of them. And another thing, when he says I destroyed the temple, my first thought could be, okay, has Ben learned some powers? Just like in the Fate of the Jedi and then the Legacy of the Force, we learned. Jason Solo learned all these different powers, and Luke tries to understand them. And I'm thinking maybe he used some of that and destroyed the temple. But here's the thing: you see him in the Force Awakens, he gets owned.
Yeah.
I mean, he can stop a bolt of lightning, but he doesn't seem as powerful as it would take for one to destroy this whole temple full of Jedi. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Something's up. Something's awry.
Yeah.
And I think Snoke had to have been there.
Something's up. The other thing is too, could he deceive them to turn with him? Maybe that's more of the approach. Is that like he tells the story that Master Skywalker tried to kill me. He tried to strike me down.
Yeah,
that's persuasive. And then if even some of that is true, you start to go, wait, what? And then you start to kind of believe him, and that's maybe how he turns some of the knights of turns some of them into the Knights of Ren or something.
It's a quick turn though, and then they all just seemingly fall under Snoke. Like I feel like Snoke had a presence in all of it.
Yeah,
all of it
seems too familiar.
Yeah,
to all of them. Yeah,
to all of them, and for everyone to just be like, yeah, let's just join this creepy guy.
I know.
I don't know.
Okay,
something's fishy, man.
Something's up, man.
Fishy.
Some calamari is going on.
Are we on Mon Cal? Because it smells like fish. That's hilarious.
So okay, that's cool. That was a good little thought, and some of the so we didn't even finish here. Oh my gosh, the number 3 from Dustin was I want a chiss with the skill of Grand Admiral Thrawn to show up.
Just give me Thrawn.
Well, yeah, if we can, yeah. Lindsay Gennady kind of says, imagine the last shot was just a pair of red eyes.
Yeah,
kind of.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
and if that's the thing, if we hadn't seen Thrawn's end in the Rebels, I would think maybe that Thrawn book could have just left things a little more open-ended. But we know after the Thrawn book, it's the treason, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Thrawn actually, turns. Well, then Rebels comes in, and he is working with the Emperor and Vader and all of them. So
right.
unless he goes to the unknown regions again and has some enlightenment or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm actually, that would be cool. I'm reading, I think we got Adam Dyson here just kind of talking about some of the Legends material that he's been into recently.
Yeah.
And the timelines, with like the extended universe. And this is so much fun, since at the pace that the new canon stuff is coming out, you can keep up with it pretty well and then actually dive into a lot of the Legends stuff if you would like. Yeah. I think it's still worth it. And there's definitely, it's kind of cool to have that knowledge. Yeah. He's just talking about the Old Republic era and some of those stories that we were kind of going over. Darth Malgus, Darth Revan, some of the order of the Sith Emperor, that order of Sith. And what's neat is, as we've been reading at the back end or the on the other end of the timeline with the Fate of the Jedi, it is cool to kind of see the Lost Tribe, like the Sith.
They have no idea what's going on.
That was really well set up, and that they are marooned and have no idea what's happening. And so to them, they still believe and have those customs and all that's set up. And in a galaxy you could have that happen. You
Yeah.
could have a small pocket of Sith who have survived that
Yeah.
had no idea
Yeah.
all this stuff went on, and they just
It'd be sick.
didn't have contact or interaction with the rest of the galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, the rule of two, like what? They have no idea what any
Yeah,
of that
that
is.
doesn't mean anything to
No,
them.
for
Yeah,
5,000 years.
right.
They've been
Yeah,
away.
man.
That's crazy.
I know. So that would be kind of cool, and another neat thing to see maybe the series to dive into either at the end of 9 or going into other episodes beyond that. Kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else we got? Okay. Let's do this real quick.
Yeah.
Lindsay Godoy is kind of talking about the Resistance trailer.
Yeah.
And just talking about what's going on there. I know you've caught up a little bit. Full disclosure, have not been keeping up with that series.
So far, you're not missing much.
Okay. I don't know, man. Lindsay's pretty into it. Don't you badmouth her Resistance, okay?
No, it's cool because it's Star Wars and it has its moments, but they're so isolated on this. I call it an aircraft carrier. I don't know what else to call it, but they're so isolated on this. They have no idea what's going on. Like and I get it. Like the story is limited for where it falls in the timeline, so it's just really isolated this planet, and you got First Order coming in and out sometimes, and it makes me excited that the trailer is showing some more action.
Yeah.
We even saw Hux, which
Right.
was cool. So you have these really cool pilots out there that are, great fighters and stuff too, and they aren't part of the Resistance or anything
They're
like
racers,
that.
right?
They race, and that's kind of what they do. They earn a living that way, and they bet, and it's an interesting thing.
They kind of protect that establishment.
They
a
do.
little bit, right?
They have guns on it. If they ever are invaded by pirates, they go out and fight them. Like it's its own little planet,
Gotcha.
so to speak. But I mean, the First Order is starting to get involved now, and they're just like, what's going on? And there's belief that there's a First Order spy on this thing, and that's what they're really trying. What Kaz and Poe are trying to get to the bottom of. But you see a lot more action in this trailer, and that's great. What's cool is that they bring in Hux into this, and they actually view him giving his speech on Starkiller Base. And so maybe that's going to kickstart, which it could kickstart people actually saying, this is messed up. We've seen this before. And maybe that ties into this new band of resistance in 9.
That's what I was going to ask you, because
It's the call. It's the whatever. It's the hey, like,
Yeah.
let's all wake up and we got to fight this now moment.
yeah. So guys, I totally apologize for not having kept up on this. Just been crazy. I will, because I love everything Star Wars related, and I do want to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get caught up. Kind of the same thing I did with Rebels. This happened to me when it started. But when I watched the mid-season trailer, I just wanted to watch it because we wanted to kind of talk about it here, and Mike has kept up with it. I asked Mike, I'm like, so when is this happening? Because it's called Resistance.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, at what point was the Resistance formed?
Yeah.
And then from there, when you have Hux giving that speech, BB-8's there.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this like right around the time he's giving that speech? Because BB-8 should be over with Poe.
Yeah.
So we got to kind of watch it and see where he's at. And then does it take place after? Because, The Last Jedi happens directly. There's not much time there. So you really could just have a Resistance that's out doing something else. Maybe they're going to tell some of that story as to why they couldn't answer the distress call, or
They could.
You
Yeah.
know?
It's so the main character, the hero here is Kaz, and he's actually a pilot for the Republic. And he has a run-in with Poe and a First Order pilot, and Poe ends up saying, "Hey, you're a good pilot. Like, would you like you want to do a mission for me?" And it's becoming a spy or whatever.
Sure.
So I think the Resistance is already established. Leia has already established that. So the Resistance and the Republic are separate things, even at the beginning of the show. But I think it really could be that wake up. We actually get to see the wake up call we never saw after Starkiller Base was destroyed, because The Last Jedi happened so fast. We might see it in 9, and this could be a nice tie-in, and this show actually may pick up to current timeline at some point.
Okay.
And you may be able to see what actually happened, and is it going to cause some of these fighters on this carrier to join the Resistance?
Gotcha.
Because they start to be infiltrated by the First Order. So that, thinking of it that way, could be cool. That Starkiller Base Republic moment, which didn't seem all that like climactic,
Yeah.
we may see it unfold now and the consequences of that action.
Gotcha. Because
It'd be cool.
I did see some of the idea that they've seen other systems being destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, so they've been out there and they're witnessing like, wow, they've tested this.
Yeah.
This wasn't their first run. They've destroyed
Yeah.
another system.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's neat. I mean,
messed up.
it's interesting. So,
We'll see. We'll catch you up on it. We'll do a whole season 1 because it was renewed for season 2. That's exciting. So it got enough good feedback and enough viewers to get another season, get it renewed. So we'll do a whole season 1 recap. I just don't know if we can do a whole episode dedicated to it right now.
no, yeah, I'm going to need to get caught up. I mean, Mike probably could, but I could not.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 other comments here I want to read, and
on.
then we're going to listen to a voicemail real quick. So, Lindsay going to pick up with something that she said a while ago. Just ask the question. Think we're ever going to get to see Kylo growing up in any type of story?
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so Ben Solo kind of growing up. I feel like she says here that he grew up idolizing Anakin and only heard stories of him during the Clone Wars. It would explain why Leia was so nervous when the news broke in Bloodline.
Yeah.
More importantly, if he really worshipped Anakin, it would be why he was able to justify everything Vader did.
Yeah.
So curious what type of stories Luke was telling him and how Luke heard the stories himself.
Yeah.
So that's a neat little thought, right? To think about how he's growing up, learning about his heritage. Yeah.
Well, think about.
But my question again,
Yeah.
so with that is like, yeah, he's heard about Anakin, but he's not heard about Vader. Because again, Anakin
Yeah.
and Vader are 2 separate people, air quote, in the minds of the galaxy.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, you get that in Thrawn, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker died a hero,
Yeah.
and this Vader mysteriously, appears. So
Well, and he definitely knows it's his grandfather, but.
he doesn't know Vader is though until the bloodlines.
Oh,
actually,
yeah. So how does he find out about it? Like all that. And I'm also thinking like what causes him to still think that that Anakin did the right thing. And he's seeking that same power. Yeah, that makes sense. But like, if you think about his family, and I mean, do we in Leia's book Bloodline, we don't see her leave the Republic yet, do we? At the end of it,
I don't think so. Well, that's the start of.
That's the start of it.
Yeah.
But like, what happens then? What are her and Han saying and doing? And
there's so much stuff in between that time. Yeah, you have no idea because during the time he is with Luke.
Yeah.
Being at the academy being trained.
Yeah.
So a lot of time passes there.
Yeah.
Communication is disrupted. We're not exactly sure. Because again, Luke at the time of The Force Awakens has vanished, and he's been gone for, I would say, the bloodlines Han and Leia are together. It's been that was the breaking point, right? I mean, so maybe a year there he kind of dwells on the Anakin situation. Maybe he was already being turned to the dark side.
Yeah,
that news leaks out, and it's like, okay,
is it simply just his parents splitting? Is it that they have this ideal of what the Republic should be, and he doesn't see eye to eye on that, or like maybe the Republic itself is just like in disarray, and he's just over that, and or maybe he's read something of Anakin's a journal or something. Who knows?
Yeah, he probably read Anakin's journal where he's telling Padme, and she says, "What do you do when the people don't, listen?" And he says, "Well, they should be made to."
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, and
the First Order. Yeah.
Could he have found love? Could he have lost someone? Could Luke have, in his new order, not allowed people to love again?
Sure. Yeah. Talking about the attachment piece. That would be interesting to kind of see.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be cool. So I would love that. That's
one of some depth.
That's some depth. That's what I mean. He would be the character to do it.
Yeah.
To go back and have some. I mean, it would be interesting. I wouldn't.
Well,
want to
maybe.
see.
Yeah, but maybe that is what he's kind of toying with. Is like, okay, well, if he turned into Vader, why?
Yeah.
Oh, it was because the Jedi believe that we're not allowed to.
Yeah.
That attachment is forbidden.
Yeah.
It's like maybe he challenges that and says that's hogwash.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, that is interesting. I would love to see or have a story. I tell you, if they released a book tomorrow that said the title was just Ben Solo,
Done.
an origin
I'll
story,
read in a day.
Oh, it'd be over. I would be. That's how interesting it is. So that's a really, really good point.
I was also thinking last time we talked about who left Rey on Jakku, and we talked about that moment with Han and how he looks at Rey and he seems involved. I was just like, what if it's just like, because Han, when they're talking about losing Ben, him and Leia get together in The Force Awakens, and he's like, it was because of me, and she's like, no, it wasn't you, it was Snoke. Did Han do something that turned Ben away? Did he do something?
Wow.
Yeah. Did he do something to the family? I don't know. I don't know. He blames himself. Was it just not being involved, or did he do something? Like, I don't know, hook up with Kira.
Don't get out of here.
Like,
Stop that blasphemy.
I don't know.
So maybe, I don't know. I kind of think it was just when he, like they sensed this dark side, and then Leia's decision was to send him to Luke.
Yeah.
So that's even before Bloodlines,
Yeah.
And they're still together. So
True. So what is he? Why does he blame himself? Just because he wasn't around?
well, also, why does he think his father's weak and foolish?
I was weak and foolish, like my father.
Yeah. I destroyed him.
Yeah, there's something else there, man.
Yeah.
There's something else there, and you know what? There's rumors, and we called it. There's rumors Harrison Ford could possibly return and not.
Here's the thing.
Let's go.
I don't know if I was on the podcast or off the podcast, but I know for a fact I was talking to you about this and how was it on the podcast? I can't remember. It might have been.
We definitely mentioned it on the podcast.
We did? Okay.
But we've talked about it.
We've talked about it a little bit more because that is a real possibility.
Yeah.
It's starting to come back down. I think we were talking about how you would incorporate, like a flashback and how you could easily walk, Han Solo back onto the screen in a flashback. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be epic.
That'd be cool.
To kind of help, maybe piece some of this together, explain what happened, or, maybe they had a conversation in Force Awakens that Han and Leia are a part of. Maybe there's some footage there that they don't even need to bring Harrison Ford back. It's like, guys, this is something we filmed.
That'd be sick.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Him leaving Rey.
It could be them talking, about things that happened. Leaving Rey on Jakku.
Yeah.
Ben Solo.
Yeah.
Sending him to Luke, hiding, Vader, or, Anakin's true, Sith name. I don't know, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that idea, though. That's a great theory. That's a great, why not see a little bit of that?
Oh, man, I think it would be, anymore, I'm really seeing that, if you needed a storyteller, and again, if you go through the mind of Lando, maybe recalling conversations that he and Han had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you have both those characters who could go back and have a conversation. And there he is.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get to see sort of like, and maybe the sad part is that he doesn't get to see his plan come to fruition, but it's something that maybe Han Solo set up. Because again, I love the line where it's like, he's like, well, Luke couldn't reach him. How can I? And Leia says, Luke's a Jedi. You're his father. It's such a good, it kind of brings you back to that, it's like why we like Finn so much. It's like everyone wants him to be force sensitive, but I'm okay with just him having a big heart, and being this guy who wants to do what's right. So, but he's real, so I don't know.
You have too much of your father's heart in you.
Yeah.
God.
I know.
It's so good, man. That's great.
So Nate Edison here had mentioned something we had talked about a little bit, was just like Luke's students and where did they, what happened to them, where do they go? Are they the Knights of Ren or Snoke's guard? That's an interesting take there. Have we not seen them? Have we not even seen them yet? And Ben may have a bunch of apprentices in Episode 9. So a bunch of questions there. The one I wanted to, because we've kind of talked about that a little bit. Question number 2 though was, what do we think about Maz's role in Episode 9? I personally really like Maz and felt she was a little, what's he say, shoehorned into The Last Jedi. I'd love to see a bigger role for her, or maybe even have her be one of the people that has a big reveal, or that kind of relays.
Interesting.
Yeah, kind of drops a bombshell on us.
Yeah.
She's definitely one of those top candidates. She could definitely do that.
Yeah. There's more there, that's why it's sad that The Last Jedi just kind of
Yeah, I know.
Took a crap on her character.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, they didn't even really need to tell. They could have just left that out.
They could have left that out.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. It made her just seem so.
There could have been anybody else who would have told him about a code breaker. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
Lando.
I want her in it. It's not that I don't want her in it. It's just like maybe there was a better way. That's one of the gripes I maybe have with the last.
I mean,
Jedi.
she knows where Luke's lightsaber came from. It's huge.
Yeah, she has a lot of information. She's been around for 1,000 years, whatever it may be. So
Yeah.
yeah, she was probably good friends with Yoda back in the day.
Interesting.
Yeah, good questions there. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
love to see her have a role, and I'd love to see her be someone who, reveals something.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, buddy. I got a voicemail.
Come on.
You want to drop that?
Yeah, please.
Ready for it? Okay.
Please. This is just we're for the past 2 episodes we've been getting caught up on some of the theories and stuff we've been. There's just so much we can't get to all of it.
Well, it's great.
Every episode we'd have to read a quarter of what we have.
But we don't want it to stop.
We don't want it to stop.
I
No,
want
please.
this-
We're going to get as much as we can in.
Yeah, such good discussion. So, and it
Yeah.
leads us down, a lot of different black holes. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, here we go. I believe this is Jeremy from Chicago here. So, Mike, check me old audio levels
Jeremy's
here.
hitting us up again, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Think we're good?
Hey there, Rebel Watch. This is Jeremy calling again from Chicago, just with a quick question and a quick story. So,
All right.
pretty much a few years ago, I was dating this girl, and every time she's by my house, she would just notice these books in my bookshelf, a lot of Star Wars books. I played Dungeons and Dragons with my brother and my buddies, and she would always talk about the Game of Thrones. So I got into Game of Thrones. And I would read the books and watch a show. And this is right around the time, just a few years ago, right around the time The Force Awakens came out. So then I'd always talk about it. And I was with a couple of my coworkers and my boss. And probably just because I wouldn't shut up about it, they were just like, you should get into the podcast. They're always talking about the same questions and theories you got. So I'm looking at the podcast later on that day, and I come across Bend the Knee. And just like an hour or two later, I started punching in Star Wars ones. And I came across the Rebel Watch. And I believe you guys were talking about the Who Loved Ray and Jakku. Might have been one of your first few episodes.
Best one.
So that's how I came across with you guys. Just wanted to share that quick story with you guys, which kind of leads into my question. A few episodes ago, you guys were talking about the Who Loved Ray and Jakku again. And this is now that we know that Billy D is going to be in it back as Lando. So I guess my question is, do you think Lando... But the question is more about the chest and the lightsaber. I'm kind of with you guys thinking Lando maybe played a part in it if he didn't do it himself. But with the chest with the lightsaber that Maz got, that's a story for another time. I think Lando might have also done that, or more likely to have done that as opposed to dropped off Rey on Jakku. Or actually did both. I think the same person might have done both,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Just a theory I got. I was curious as to what you guys think. And as far as staying in Chicago, you guys always got a place to stay. You guys are always more than welcome to come stay with me as long as you guys show me the little Rebel insignia, the one from Canto Bite that the kids got in the stables.
Absolutely.
I give you guys clearance to get into my place. Show me the little Rebel Watch ring, and you guys are all good.
Yes.
So I just wanted to call you guys, check in with you guys. Be safe. May the Force be with you.
Amen. And also with you. Good sir, we may hit you up. I mean, if this hotel falls through, who knows? As I could have got a hotel on some phony site.
Who knows,
We
man?
might have to hit them up.
We might have to, man. Make sure you bring your,
Yes. So that better be an open invitation for the next 3 months.
we're going to be walking around the streets just like opening up, the Rebel insignia in front of all these different houses. Hey, man, we're looking for Jeremy. Oh, that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That's
Thanks
so cool.
for calling again, man. That was good.
Yeah, well, if anything,
like,
we're gonna hit him up at Celebration for sure.
No, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, a month before or however, when we know, the itinerary for
That's right.
Celebration, we're gonna hit
Dates,
everyone
times.
up. We're gonna want to meet up. We're gonna want to hang out. We're
yeah.
gonna drink some beers.
That's right.
And we're gonna talk Star Wars.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
we're gonna hang out in the convention somewhere. Whatever. We're gonna meet up with everyone if you'd like, and I think that'll be awesome.
Yeah, be
so
great.
more to come when that happens. What I love most about his call, in addition to all of that, I like the idea of Billy D being involved with the lightsaber.
Yeah, me too.
It makes sense, Bespin.
Absolutely,
You
it
know,
does.
he-
It totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he's running that establishment. Why wouldn't he be somebody who found it?
perfect.
That's the story for another time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's silly we haven't said that yet. So
Yeah.
thank you,
That's
Jeremy. I
awesome,
mean, it's
Jeremy.
actually kind of like a no brainer because
It
we
makes
were
so much
we've been
sense.
so honed in on the Jakku Ray situation
Yeah.
that like the lightsaber plays a big role in that too.
It does, man.
And it's been the focus of a lot of The Force Awakens and then The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Am
You
I
know?
wrong in saying it may have triggered her awakening? For
Yeah.
the most part. So
Well,
it's a huge part.
Yeah, I think it's the kyber crystal. It's it's the whole bit. It's
Yeah.
everything. It's the Force speaking there,
Yeah.
using that as a conduit to kind of draw her in.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Love it.
it's fantastic. So
a
it'd
great
be cool to hear that story as to how it came into either his possession and how he got that to Maz for safekeeping. Why they stowed it there. Why they didn't just take it to Luke. You know.
I mean, was he how long has she had it? Was he around at that time? Like,
Maybe not. Maybe
yeah.
not. Like yeah, you're right. Maybe she got it after he had vanished. That could be.
Yeah.
But it feels like to me they would have found that a little sooner. I don't know. You know. So
Who knows? Someone else could have been holding on to it, and Lando got a hold of it. But like after the destruction of the Death Star, the second one, like,
yeah.
did anyone think it would be needed? Like, you know,
Here's another thing that I think is kind of neat along those lines is I loved the discussion about relics, and I love that in Battlefront 2 you got to see Luke Skywalker searching for relics, holocrons and such, and just different Jedi, Sith artifacts, what have you. So something that's kind of neat as well is was it the Acolytes? Is that what they were called?
Yep.
They were searching for Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think we ever got a clear answer as to whether they found it or not, but they definitely had a red saber of some kind. Remember that?
Yeah,
It
they
was
had
in the
something.
aftermath, and
They
they
had
were kind of
something,
doing a
yep.
ceremony there. So that was that his lightsaber? Was it not? That would be interesting to kind of encounter. Wow, I literally just had a thought,
Come on,
premonition.
live on the podcast,
Holy smokes! It's like the Force is
pre-recorded.
speaking to me. This is not made up.
It floweth.
It
know?
really does, man.
It's
I mean,
binding us, man.
I almost literally like closed my eyes and started levitating there for a second. Could you imagine if Wes
I just turn away and you're up in the ceiling.
as just man?
I would
I start
probably have to
floating the
kick you
camera.
out
I start
at that
floating the
point.
cameras. You know.
I have a thing about levitation. It freaks me out. Ever since we watched The Fourth Kind
Oh man,
in high school or whenever that, I freaked out by it.
dude, I have to drive home later, so please don't. Let's not talk about that. I take the back roads. It gets scary.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Man.
No,
What was your idea?
So I was thinking, I don't know, I've been doing a little bit more. I mean, I love just getting on Wikipedia. And
Yep.
shout out to my friend Grace, by the way, because she's someone who I've been wanting to
Yep.
get back on here and dig
going
deep.
to.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk with her about Star Wars and some of the literature that's out there. But looking at those places in the galaxy where the wall is, or the what do you call-
wall.
hold on now.
Easy.
Whoa.
You know, it's,
Hey.
it's tense times here in our country, so I need to make sure we're not
No.
turning into a political podcast.
No. I sort of the you had asked me a question about the the mind drinkers. Remember this before we got here today?
The Mind Walkers.
Mind walkers. And they're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
also called mind drinkers too. They have
What? I'm not that
two-
far.
Yeah, they have two different kind of names. So the idea is that they detach themselves from their bodies.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of drift in beyond shadow.
Yep,
is what
yep.
they call it, right? Wow, it's crazy how things come back and you get right back in that moment. But like, yeah, they kind of so there's this sort of other world, right, beyond what we hear, see, and can feel and touch in the galaxy far, far away. So there are places in the universe where it's like the wall is kind of thin, or like reality is thin.
Yeah.
And maybe you can. I call them. I think it's in legends called like a nexus. It's sort of like a place that's strong in the Force, but yet it's also there's like a tear as well. We saw vacuums, like in the Old Republic, where the Force was absent.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of different like anomalies there. But one that's really neat that I've always been fascinated by is where the second Death Star is destroyed. And where all of that stuff is. You've got the lightsaber there. You've got Palpatine's presence. So we were talking at the beginning of this, kind of flying around visiting places, it wouldn't shock me if we came through a debris field like that.
That'd be sick.
And there was a presence reach out to Rey
Yeah.
or someone.
Yeah.
And I just thought there's old Palby back, back
Could
in
be.
the conversation.
Yeah.
So anyways, I don't know. That just literally dawned on me, and I was thinking about what that would look like. So we'll, take that a step further maybe next time.
Yeah.
Get some more thoughts on that. Just because I've always heard rumors that they wanted to kind of, I don't know. We have all of his contingency plan and just still a lot of questions. And it wouldn't surprise me if some of the, learning more about Snoke or learning about Rey's origins takes us back to Palpatine.
Yeah. I mean, they would tie everything in nicely.
It's just there's maybe something there that he could say through the Force, like he's communicated multiple times with Mara Jade and others there, as just proximity wise being near that place. It's kind of like on Yavin 4 and other places where the Siths, they don't really have the Force ghost, right? But they're kind of haunting a place, or they're kind of they can get trapped into, like Korriban, like their spirits are there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They don't seem to have the ability to move around like your light side Force ghost users do.
Yeah.
Which that'd be something to explore someday.
Yeah.
A little bit more. So, anyways, sorry about that. I just kind of,
You got to get off your chest, man.
well, the Force sends you something, and you gotta talk it out with your,
That's right.
with your council.
See,
So,
council, small council, but
goodness
a
gracious.
solid
Well,
council.
Should we inform the Senate that our ability to use the Force has diminished? No.
I mean, they could, yeah. Man,
Only
how were they deceived? Here's my question: Was Palpatine?
Did I just,
Well, was he that powerful that he deceived the entire council and the entire Sith or the Jedi Order? If there were tons of Sith, you know what I'm saying? One man,
Absolutely, bro.
one man.
Yeah. He may be the most, biggest baddie of them all.
That's crazy.
And again, that goes back to the rule of two and the idea that they used secrecy and they wanted to kind of, fly under the radar there. And
Yeah.
that is how they stopped from destroying themselves. It's one of the flaws that Bane kind of saw.
True.
So, I don't know.
It's bananas.
It's a different way. That's why I would love, though, to kind of see a switch in, the rule of two situation. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's not anything that we're even ever going to talk about again.
Nope.
After Palpatine, it's done.
Yep.
It's dies with him,
Makes for an epic, like,
There's no, you can have a whole nother philosophy. It doesn't have to be back to the days of the Old Republic. It doesn't have to be the rule of two. It can be something brand new.
Yeah.
You don't, and it could still be Sith.
But I kind of like the idea of the Lost Tribe coming back in.
Oh,
and
me
be like,
too. Absolutely.
What is going on here? But
Absolutely.
they're just super powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be really,
That would be sick.
be crazy cool. So yeah, he deceives the entire, he's literally sitting right there talking to Master Yoda.
It's bananas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Their ability to use the Force has diminished.
Diminished, and they know it.
Yeah.
They just weren't that careful.
A question for another day is why
Yeah.
did it diminish?
Yeah.
And what was going on with that?
Yeah.
So
God, I just want to tap into the mind of Sidious even a little more.
yeah,
I don't know.
be interesting. So any other thoughts though? Things on Facebook? Any other comments there, my good friend?
There's a lot.
We don't have to go through all of them. I know we've done quite a few, but I just kind of
No, we don't. There's some good stuff. There's also some entertaining stuff people are posting in there. I
Yes.
really enjoy it. Like Nate talking about Knights of the Old Republic being available, super discounted.
I just missed that, and I'm super ticked that I did not.
We're gonna have to buy it, and I've always said this. I wanna film as playing these games. I wanna do some fun stuff like that. I think that'd be entertaining. Or get on Battlefront and hang out with people and Discord.
You know, the one game Mike won't film me recording me playing is Empire at War. You know why?
Because I'm battling you.
Because I trash him. Because I trash him like you guys would not.
There's no
believe.
trashing to it. It's a 5 to 8 hour battle, and
and at the end,
everything seems to be in my favor, and I miss Obi-Wan Kenobi in
You're
the
darn
far
right.
corner of the film. He's invisible.
You
He
don't
just starts
have a
destroying
base.
everything. Yeah.
literally, Mike
Yeah.
is. First of all,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about all of my tactics, but
Well,
Man, I hoard them tanks.
You
I
do.
hoard those
You
tanks,
do.
and I send them in, and I don't even watch them. I let them just get completely destroyed.
Yeah,
I
it's a
replenish
distraction.
them, and I send Obi-Wan into the base.
Diversion.
And he is done.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for years, guys, and he hasn't figured it out.
Now, to be fair, last time we played, Tom and Fogel played with us.
Yeah.
Fogel didn't have a lick of a clue what he was doing because I'd be like, "Hey, Fogel, hey, take the Emperor and go compromise those troops." Yep, sounds good, boss. He'd walk over there and like, Fogel, corrupt the troops.
He's like, got it, man.
Got it.
Yeah.
Done.
Done.
The Emperor's dead. You didn't know.
Dude.
He didn't know what I was talking
Dude,
about.
I mean, literally like 3 times he would say, and that was so funny when he explained that to me. And by the way, if I know Fogel's listening, so we love him,
I
brother.
love it, but Fogel had no idea what he was doing.
That was hilarious.
And it was too late by
It
that
was me versus you, essentially, because
Yeah, because Tom was out playing diddle daddle, and I
Yeah.
don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was taking Kyle Katarn and throwing grenades or something. I
don't
know
use
what he was
Kyle.
doing.
It's so stupid.
He's not great in the
He's
game.
not good in that.
Him and I think Mara is not great in the game either.
Yeah.
She's
probably
just not great because she doesn't have sabers or anything. She has a bunch of other crap.
You guys want to see an epic battle? You just let us know. We will record that, screen capture that.
I think that would be entertaining.
Yeah.
Who else is? Let us know who else is playing Empire War or who used to play Empire War because it's still out there. You could still get it. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
still download it, and it's epic.
It's
It's the
so
best
good.
Star Wars game
So
of
good.
all time.
Yes.
Right?
It probably is.
You can play all night and it can be a stalemate. It's
Dude,
just epic.
I will never, ever forget when we started at 6 o'clock in
yeah.
like the afternoon.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone. My mom's going to bed early because she's got to wake up early in the morning or
Yeah.
whatever, It's 3 o'clock in the morning, going on 4.
Yeah.
And my mom wakes up, walks in. We haven't moved. No one has moved. Like, we had our water, we had our snacks.
Yeah.
We knew we weren't going to move too, but we
Haven't
weren't
moved.
sure how long. 9 hours
insane.
later,
That's
we were
insane.
still in a battle. And I remember like Tom was sitting over there in his recliner, just like pretending to be asleep, watching us and sending bombing runs.
Bombing runs.
Thought we wouldn't notice.
No idea.
Well, actually, at first we didn't notice because I was
No.
like, he's out.
Out.
Tom's out. I'm
Nope.
taking him out now.
And then also,
Bombing run
Base.
everywhere. And he'd start
Gone.
laughing and like lean up like, God, you suckers.
and there's strategy to it too. If you're playing with others in the same, you're in proximity to each other, you have to have your volume down or wear
Absolutely.
headsets because there's tips that the
Yeah,
bombing
you can't
runs
let them
come-
hear that you're starting a bombing run. No.
You can't.
Well, the other thing is find that sensor array, man.
You can run the whole board, like the whole thing. You know where everyone is.
It's
and-
funny. I would
oh.
hear Mike in the opposite room, and he'd just be in there, and he'd just like, "Gosh dang it, Ez has got the sensor array."
For the past 4 hours, Ez
like-
has had the sensor
well-
array, and I forgot about
Well,
it.
because like he'd be sitting there, he's like, "There's no way he can see. He has no troops over here. He cannot send a bombing run over here. How is he doing that?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh,
he has no idea.
I was like, "He has no idea. I have the satellite." Oh man.
I mean, there's desperate hours. I would see this whole fleet of your little cannon,
Yeah.
cars coming,
Yeah.
tanks coming,
Yeah.
and I mean, I would just holler at Tom, drop everything in
yeah.
that land and that drop zone, all the true. I mean,
Whatever you have.
whatever you have, drop it.
Yeah. Go into production now.
Man,
Yeah,
that's the thing. That is ultimate strategy.
Yes,
that
it is.
game. I mean,
I love it.
And do not ever underestimate the power of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Never.
He is the bee's knees of that game.
Dude, I love it, man. People like they get so if you know how to use your heroes right. I mean,
everything else
Palpatine,
is just a distraction.
the only counter to Obi, I think, is Palpatine in that game.
Yeah.
Vader's pretty good,
He's powerful and he lasts a long time. He deflects blaster bolts and everything.
right? But how demoralizing is it when the Emperor comes in and just corrupts all your
Yeah.
troops?
Well, unless you're Fogel and you have no idea, and he's just force lightning a couple of people.
Yeah,
But
he's like,
love you, Fogel. But
dude.
man, we gotta shore up that.
dude,
that
that was
game.
his first time playing. That was,
I know.
oh
I
man, that was
know.
funny. That was.
I
so
love
great.
reminiscing about that stuff
Me
because
too.
those are some of the fondest moments I have.
Well, the worst part I had was I was in there and Obi-Wan has destroyed the entire base. I'm sitting there going, okay, this game is over. And Mike's like, no, I mean, like, I don't know if we said it to you have to destroy every single one of your people.
Yeah, I think we did.
And then you rebuilt your base, and I was so ticked.
Yeah,
and I had
but
to
then
start
you
over.
just did it again.
I did it again.
because I'd forget again. I'm like, where's Obi-Wan? I can't see him, and then he's destroyed half the base by that point.
Fantastic. So
That's depressing.
let us know if you played that game,
Come
though.
on.
And I'm sure people out there have some memories with it. If you haven't,
Yeah.
you need to go download it. There's still,
So good.
you can get it. I think you can still get that on Steam and stuff. And
Yeah. Yep.
there's ways to kind of
You can
still
get it
play
in the
it.
Apple Store, and
Yeah.
And we're gonna record some of this stuff because there's too many epic moments that aren't filmed in our lives, and it makes me mad.
Me too.
Like there's so many epic moments.
Yeah.
So
well, that one's recorded now. We at least talked about the memories.
right.
We'll have to bring
right.
What's funny is you'll get a different perspective when we bring Tom on here. The story changes. Okay. All right. So
it does. The stories change. They evolve over time.
All right. Well, hey, before we let you guys go, I want to leave you with the voicemail number here. You can hit us up at 614-547-2570. Again, 614-547-2570. If you're on your way home from work, give us a call. On your way there, on your lunch break, whatever. Make
Call
sure your
us at
hands
work.
free.
Put the boss on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know. You're around the water cooler. You got a couple guys there talking.
Yeah.
And remember, 3 minutes, you know, and leave us that voicemail. We'll try to respond.
Absolutely. Don't forget to also hop on the Facebook group. It's growing.
Yes.
I haven't sent any new invites out either. It just keeps growing. So
Oh yeah, it's just organically growing. It's fantastic. So if you have friends that are interested in Star Wars and you want to talk, and they want to, place where we can kind of hash out some of their theories and thoughts, definitely hit us up. Get those folks in the group. We've got the trailers going to be dropping any day now. Who knows?
Yeah.
Rumor is it could be sooner than we think.
Yeah.
I feel like that's every trailer that ever drops.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see how that goes. So.
And the Patreon update will be coming soon.
Yeah, before January's over.
Absolutely.
Yep, we said by end of January, so we'll have that for you guys. By the way,
Come on.
I'm going to leave you with this.
Oh,
all right? You're welcome, okay, for last week.
Oh.
Because the episode
wow.
didn't almost...
Cheesy
What,
Pete's.
I should call that the episode that almost was not. I have never...
Yeah.
I was in
That's my bad.
such a crisis mode. Guys, we've had issues on this podcast, okay?
Yep.
We've had, things come up in our life events. We've had situations like that. We've had Sith plots with the equipment back when it was terrible. Then we have the equipment.
Yeah.
And we forget to either turn something on and record the audio, and it's just us here talking. You can see our mouths moving, but you can't hear anything. That's something.
Yeah.
Then we get everything right, and we have it all recorded.
Yeah.
It's all on a memory card.
Yep,
Mike takes it upstairs, and he literally throws it in the trash.
Wiped it. I don't know how.
I thought you were messing with me.
Oh, well, I wish I was, but I fixed it. But yeah, man.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason I'm bringing it up, or otherwise I would never bring that up. I would just be...
Well, I was super sad because I was just so defeated because the memory card was full almost, and so I needed to wipe it.
Yeah.
But before I wiped it, I didn't download last week's podcast to edit it. So I was like, oh my God, that was one of the best things we've ever done. It had everyone's voicemails. It was awesome. And
it was so fun.
Super bummed, and I was about to cry. And I sent as a text, I was like, dude, you're not going to believe it. I'm so sorry. But then I went to the depths of the internet to figure out how to restore that SD card. And I did.
Literally, Lane can attest to this. I dropped to my knees when I saw that text message, and I was like Boba Fett with Jango's head, man. I just took a pillow and I just put my forehead into this pillow and was like, you have got to be kidding me.
Yeah. Because this isn't
I'm just
a discussion.
teasing you.
No, this isn't a discussion of what's Leia's role going to be that we could go back and maybe talk about. These were live reactions to voicemails.
Yeah.
There's no way you recreate that.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just so glad that you figured out how to actually go back and do a deep recovery.
Seriously,
Mike worked on it all weekend. He was like, I am going to get this
it.
episode back.
I did.
It was so great.
Great program out there. Drill something. I don't even know what it was, but I retrieved it. It's all good. I know how to wipe memory cards properly now and to download them first.
Yeah.
So
a little behind the scenes for you guys. Just thought that was kind of funny because I was like, I'm going to have to go over there Sunday night and we are going to record another episode, which we would have done.
We would have.
I was like, what in the heck?
It's pretty defeating.
So, anyways, guys, when we're not defeated by Sith plots, we're defeating ourselves. Okay?
Also, yeah. But you know what? As the sun will always rise, and
Come on.
there's always a hero that's going to save the day. And
let's go.
This week it just happened to be me.
Let's go, dude.
It happened to be the Sith and the hero. But you know what? I digress.
So literally, you came back from the dark side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody pulled me back.
Foreshadowing much? I don't know.
So.
All right, guys. Well, hey, again, hit us up, hit that voicemail up, hop in the Facebook group, follow us on Twitter, RW2187. And we'll be looking for. We need some more topics. We have a lot of different things. We want to dive into some legend stuff. Plenty of stuff for us to talk about there. But if there's something fresh you guys want to talk about, a theory, we are always looking for episode 9 stuff to talk about.
That's right.
And we'll get after that. We did have to put some of our partially my fault, some of our collaboration on the back burner, but we've worked out some alternative dates for that. So that'll be coming soon. A little present, a little gift for everybody. So stay tuned there. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you leave those bad reviews on YouTube and those kind reviews on iTunes. We appreciate it. And as always, may the Force be with you.